Good afternoon, Colorado. Welcome to today's episode of Local Biz Buzz. I'm your host, Larry Hers, and today in studio, I have Streeter from Streeter Flynn Vodka.
That's me.
Welcome, though.
Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. So I'm a huge vodka guy. Little confession time. That's all I drink is vodka. I've never, ever had a bourbon, a scotch, a whiskey, a cognac, not a sip of any.
Really?
I've had Fireball, but it doesn't really count.
That doesn't count at all.
I mean, you do, Fireball is different. Give us a little history of you and your vodka.
So Streeter Flynn Vodka, that's vodka I came out with about a year ago. And I was actually talking to some people I work with, and they're like, why did you come out with Streeter Flynn Vodka? And I said, because I like to go to bars and restaurants and see my name up on the shelf.
That's a good enough reason.
That was my first answer. But then I'm a vodka drinker, so I realized that we talked about this I think earlier, but there's a lot of big companies that have a lot of vodkas out there, but they are focused on the marketing and not the quality of the product. And being a vodka drinker, I was like, well, why not put our money where our mouth is and spend a little more money and get good product and make a great tasting vodka and keep it inexpensive. So we make this from Sugarcane, and we've been making it now a year and a half.
So is anybody else making it from Sugarcane?
There's one other group or two other groups, but they really are so small. One's in Hawaii and one is somewhere in the, no. The answer is no.
Okay.
We're the only
I've
ones.
never heard of it, and I've been drinking vodka my whole life. So why Sugarcane? What are the advantages? What makes it better?
That's a good question, because a lot of people are always concerned about if something's gluten-free.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly. So what's interesting is the other groups start with gluten. Well, because we start with sugarcane, we have no gluten to process out.
Okay.
So we never have gluten in there. So we actually make it from sugarcane, and we run it through, we distill it twice, and we run it through 14 feet of charcoal, which makes it actually super, super smooth. In the smell test, smell this.
Okay.
Yeah. So what's funny is when we go out and do sales calls, we just pour ours in one glass, and whoever they want in another glass, and we say, smell that, now smell ours. And honest to God, that's it. The sales call's over right after that. It's a very smooth. In fact, go ahead.
You were saying you don't focus on marketing. That's a damn good looking bottle, though.
It's funny. So there was one day when I said, you know what, I'm going to make vodka because there's a market for good vodka at an inexpensive price. And I actually sat down and I started drawing a label. And then I said, okay, I got to find a bottle. I've got to find a cap. And I've got to design all of this and put it together. And it took about 9 months with our team working together. And then we had to go and we had to figure out what do we want to make it out of. And the best product out there is sugarcane. And so we decided on that. We went through 100 recipes and we came out with this one. And then all of a sudden we started making it. And our first sales call, kid you not, was to Hillstone. And they lined up 10 glasses.
Were you a regular there?
I was already in a little bit there because they'd seen me at the bar.
You might be.
And they lined up 10 glasses. They lined up Streeter Flynn, Tito's, Grey Goose. And he had all his staff come over and taste it blind. So they tasted it. They all sat down, 10 Streeter Flynns. And they said, you're in. That was my first sales call. Second sales call was the Hoppa. And I walked in and this lady goes, hey Streeter. I go, she goes, it's Tiffany from Red Square. And she goes, huh? I go, yeah. She goes, so you know I know vodka. I go, do you want to taste it? She goes, I don't need to taste anything else. Pour me some Streeter Flynn. So she tried the Streeter Flynn. She looked at me. Second sales call. She goes, no. And I said, oh. She goes, no. She goes, we're not going to put this on our cocktail menu because I'm not going to mix this vodka. This is a Martini Vodka, premier Martini Vodka. From that day, I've not had one bad sales call. We walked into places, people have tasted it, and they're like, you're serious. Like, you actually made a very, very good vodka. In fact, and I talked about this earlier, we just won the International Spirits competition, so we're internationally known. We're starting to make a footprint. We are also got second place in a the Chicago National Institute tasting contest.
How do you know how to make vodka?
Well, you've got to get the right team. So we work with the group Denver Distillery over on Broadway in Alameda. Chris and Ron down there, and those guys were instrumental. When we sat down and we said, okay, what's out there? We've got the big boys, the ones that we can't really mention, but the big ones in the corner, and they all use cheap product. And I said, let's not do that. Let's give the consumer a great product. So what else is out there? So they start talking about sweet potato or grapes and that kind of thing. And then he mentioned sugarcane. I go, wait, what? He goes, sugarcane. Well, you can make vodka out of anything you ferment. So I said, go on. And he said, we can get some great sugarcane in here and we can make a great vodka. And I said, I want to make a great vodka, so let's do that. So we brought it in, and it took 6 months to come up with this taste. But I'm telling you, like, it honestly is taking over Denver. We're in 65 of the premier restaurants, you name it. Shanahan's, Elway's, Garden Grace. We're all over Cherry Creek. We're all over the DTC. And it's really, like I said, not even a hard sales call. I'll go in this afternoon to a sales call, and they'll taste it, and I'll walk out, go get a case, and deliver it.
And then you're also in a lot of liquor stores?
We are. We're at Lucas Liquor Stores. We're at Bonnie Bray Liquor Stores. We're at Morgan Liquors. We're at, we just got into Logan Liquors, which has that drive-through. So we're super jazzed about that. Yeah. We are at...
And what is it running in a liquor store?
Argonaut sells it for, I think, $23.99. So, great price.
Great price.
It's flying off the shelf.
Especially Tito's has gone up, so now you're below Tito's.
It's funny you say that because people are having trouble getting their Tito's because they didn't forecast right. And so a lot of our restaurants are calling us going, hey, we have no Tito's. Give us another case. So we're doubling up sales right now. So we're super jazzed. But you wanted me to make a cocktail.
I do want you to make a cocktail. I didn't bring you here for your looks.
I was going to say, my mouth is so dry.
Drink.
So what's funny, okay, so the first one we were going to make, but I went ahead and made it, was we have an Espresso Martini. Sure. That is kind of our winter drink that everybody's kind of ordering. It's Jing makes them, makes a million of them a night. So this is super simple. This is Streeter Flynn, Bailey's, Kahlua, and then we shake that up, we pour it out, and then we top it with a couple, with a little bit of chocolate and a little bit of a coffee bean. And this is really our signature drink and has been all winter. And I can tell you, guys, girls, they both love it. It just goes down so smooth.
It's amazing how espresso martinis have become a big thing.
Now this, okay, so we were talking the other day, and I was like, okay, everybody drinks Cosmo. Spring's coming. We need to have a Streeter Flynn take on a Cosmo. Okay. So we're going to take a little bit of Streeter Flynn, or a lot of Streeter Flynn, okay? That's
Nobody's ever going to complain that it's too strong.
That's how I like mine.
Not me.
Just like that. So anyway, then, you know what? We thought pomegranate. So a little pomegranate goes in. And then a little bit of cranberry, but you know what? Just a little bit, because I really want the pomegranate to come out. So what's cool is a lot of people don't realize, but they use Contro, and that's an orange drink, and I just use fresh orange. That's why I went a little heavy on the vodka, because I want the vodka to speak for itself. Then we need a little tart, so we're going to add a little bit of lime, okay? And then grapefruit. So again, this is our take on a Cosmo, and I think it's going to be a real big hit this spring in Denver, or all over. So then, I'll move that there, and then that, let's take one of these. What we're going to do is we are going to put sugar on the rim. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to shake this thing up. I was practicing at home doing a little top nut, or a little cocktail.
Yeah,
and I shot it. You should see my kitchen. I go like this.
No, you didn't.
I tried it, and it hit the back wall, and so I got a big day of cleanup when I get home. But anyway, okay, again, Streeter Flynn vodka, fresh grapefruit, fresh orange, fresh lime.
And what are we calling this?
The Streeter Flynn Cosmo.
All right.
So then, let me get this off. Hold on.
Childproof packaging.
I know, right? All right, so then we're just going to pour it right in. All right,
sure you don't want to get that top off? All right, look at him.
Maybe
he did bartend.
I did bartend. There we go. Okay, give that a swirl.
Did you make two of them?
Hold on 1 sec. You and I, we talked about this. We're big fans of a little bit of a
need the oil.
twist. That's right. So we're just going to get that in there, and I'm going to let that float. I'll make another one. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, don't let me drink alone.
I will not. That's not how I do it.
What else?
You're going to love this. So
we told them where you can get it. We said the restaurants. What's your website?
It is streeterflynn.com, and we actually just had a really big deal. We signed an agreement with the Museum of Natural History and Science, and they are actually presenting us as their local and premium brand for their 200 events this year.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming in. Pleasure to see you.
Absolutely.
We'll be back for What's for Lunch tomorrow, but for today, let's drink.
Let's drink. That's good.
Oh yeah. You did good.
I know, right?
Maybe you really were a bartender. That's perfectly balanced.
You taste that grapefruit? That's what I mean. It's fresh.
Trying to think.
You taste it all.
I taste it all. I thought the pomegranate would be the number one thing that would come through.
No,
it's just perfectly balanced. There's nothing that comes through more than anything else. It's citrusy. It's refreshing.
Is it too early to get started, do you think? Or
No.
No.